Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I think I have skipped a couple of weeks of these videos and I apologize. I don't know where the time has gotten. Today is the day after Thanksgiving that I'm recording, and so I would like to just share my gratitude for those of you who practice, some of you with me on Thursday mornings in a Zoom meeting, and some of you are probably practicing with these videos at home, and I've never met you, but I appreciate your practice and your interest in mindfulness and in meditating. So it's just good to know there's a community of folks in practice. So let's just do that today together. So taking a comfortable seat and letting your eyes lower or close, and noticing some details about the seat you've taken and the thoughts, the feelings, the texture of your mind and emotions. What has joined you as you've collected yourself to this seat? What has arrived with you in the body and the mind that you can simply notice without any judgment, without any judgment. So accepting the busyness of the mind, the texture and feel of the moment, and just deepening the breath a little bit. So slowing down and exaggerating the inhale just a little, and slowing and noticing the details of the exhalation. So 2 or 3 breaths in this way, very anchoring for awareness and helpful kind of telegraphs to the nervous system that it's okay to relax just a little bit. And then let the breath fall into its natural rhythm, maintaining some connection with its impact in the body. Noticing if there's any slight adjustment you might want to make to your seat so that you feel more alert, more upright, more present. So creating optimal conditions for awareness to kind of shine through, both in body and mind, by initially attending to the physical seat. So we can just begin today by noticing where in the body your attention is called to. What is most predominant as a sensation? And for each of us, it will be somewhat different. Maybe that your awareness lingers on the feel of the breath as it expands and contracts, the chest, the torso, somewhere in the upper body. And maybe you have some sensations in your shoulders or head or neck this morning. And so I'm inviting you to notice that without commenting, without needing it to be different. So we're just dropping into the simplicity the direct experiences that are going on in our bodies right now. There's always some sensation, a warmth or a tingling or a twinge, maybe some pressure. And so we don't need to search necessarily around the body, but when we get still and when we allow, something will show up, something will appear at the surface of our awareness. We can hold that. So we have a direct experience of noticing and witnessing without this call to do anything about it. There's nothing to solve. There's nothing to understand. There's direct experience. And part of that direct experience will be the arising of thoughts. So I encourage you to allow that thought stream to be just part of the mix of what's present. Allow it to be simply something else to notice. And once you notice that the thoughts are arising, bubbling up, once you have that very moment of noticing, you've been mindful. Notice how you can move your awareness back, guiding it towards sensation somewhere in the body this morning. And again, it could be a sensation in the limbs or the torso or the face. A sensation may be linked to the breath, but not necessarily. Or it may be in the background there's some sounds. In my background there's a sound of a leaf blower, I think. It's just a sound. Notice if you're liking or not liking your sounds or sensations, and what it would feel like to simply allow them to be unfolding in the presence of your awareness. Notice if you get stuck and caught on the content of a thought. If there's a recurring thought or a thought sequence we think of as a story unfolding, just notice that's what's happening. That's what the mind does. And awareness of this can also bring us back to something more in the moment, the uniqueness of the next breath, the direct experience of your hands in your lap. Every time I notice my shoulders, something releases. So there's a willingness to begin again, because when I come back to noticing my shoulders a few moments later, the same release happens. And that's okay. None of this is permanent. So we just release again. And the release really happens simply in that moment of direct experience without judgment. We're just noticing this is what's here now. And if what's here now is thoughts, then we notice that. And the only invitation is to be aware of what is unfolding. Thoughts, sensation, breath. Without need to attend to any of them. Just letting them arise and pass within the light of our awareness, our focus, our attention. It's just there. And then when you notice the sound of the singing bowl, just allow your awareness to rest on that sound for a bit as we transition out of our meditation. And it's good to let the eyes open slowly if they were closed. One of the teachers I was sitting with this week shared something I thought was interesting about the sound of the bell. That kind of marks the time that the meditation is over and what will begin next. And what do we expect when we hear that sound? So there's this idea that it's really all just continuing. The bell kind of signifies somewhat of a shift, but as you move back into your day, it's possible to stay connected. This mindfulness can travel with us off of the seat. That really is the purpose, so that we don't become better sitting meditators, but we become more mindful in our exchanges during the day with other people and with ourselves and the world around us. So we're more mindful, more present. So something interesting to think about, how we divide up our awareness, our time, and our space. So thank you all for sitting. I hope to be back next week. You can always email questions if anything arises about the practice or the guiding principles, or perhaps in the new year ahead, you'll find time on Thursday mornings to join our group and sit together. We meet from 10 to 10:30, and I just send out a Zoom link every Wednesday for folks to join. So stay well and see you soon.